Alright, so welcome to day 18 of a muscle anatomy question series. So let's get right into the question. The patient presents with inability to extend their fingers. So he has a finger drop and the thumb. However, they can still extend their wrist weakly and crucially, they have no loss of sensation on the hand. Which muscle is compressing the nerve? So looking at this question, they say there's an inability to extend their finger, which is a function of the posterior interosseous nerve, PIN. And the posterior interosseous nerve is a branch of the radial nerve, right? The thing is that the radial nerve splits at the elbow. It has a deep branch, which is also called the motor branch, which is the posterior interosseous nerve, and it also have a superficial head, which is responsible for sensation. Okay, all right, yeah. But then the question says which muscle is compressing the nerve. So let's look at the option. First of all, we have the pronator teres. The pronator teres is innervated by the medial nerve. Don't forget, the radial nerve is what splits into the posterior interosseous nerve and the superficial head. Okay, but the pronator teres is innervated by the medial nerve. The medial nerve in this case, in pronator teres, is responsible for opposition of the thumb, and it is not responsible for extension of the fingers. So we have supinator, which is actually the answer because the posterior interosseous nerve passes through the two superficial head through a joint, through a root known as the arcades of Frohse. So if it is compressed in that place, there's going to be an inability to extend their fingers. The tricep muscles is innervated by the radial nerve, but it is up the radial groove, right? And the anconeus muscle, there's no site for compression here. It is just a small muscle at the back of the elbow, right? The question also says that they can still extend their wrist weakly. Now, extension of this wrist weakly is actually the function of the extensor carpi radialis longus or brevis. So it might be injured, but it's the extension is still weak. Okay, they have no loss of sensation in the hand. This is also a function of the radial nerve, but like I said, these two branches. One branch is the superficial head, which is not injured. That is why there's no loss of sensation in the hand. The other branch is the deep branch, which is the motor branch or the posterior interosseous nerve. So that's where it is being compressed is the supinator. So that is where it is being compressed. So the answer here is option B, the supinator muscles. All right, please like, share, and subscribe.